brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Steel, fun papa fee.
Born in February 1955, died in October 2011. That's the former CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, for you. A heavy dose of motivation for your morning to keep you going. And I'm sure most definitely you're going to be taking one or two things from this that will make you a very successful person. That brings us to News Flash this morning here on Prime Morning. It's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise Phone Papa Pathia. We're asking you to just do well and grab a phone for yourself. If you need to replace any of your phones, whether it's Samsung, it's iPhone, it's Nokia, if your television screen is broken and you need a change, that's the place you need to go to ensure you buy the quality. And of course, those of us who are seeking to also change our CCTV cameras or even get new ones, the best place you can be guaranteed of quality is Franco Trading Enterprise. And this morning, we're entreating you to go there and get yourself one. Don't forget, we are also on social media. But of course, you can download the Franco Trading app. It's on Google Play Store, and you're good to go. Our website is www.francotrading.com, and you can give us a call at 0555 939311 and speak to us. It's very, very important that you buy from the best, and that's why we're encouraging you to do exactly so. This morning we've got our conversations coming, and we're going to be looking at the newspapers, the front pages first, and then we'll get into substantive issues. We'll be looking at Baumia's visit to the Otumfuo's palace and the conversation that ensued, and also we'll be looking at some issues of Mahama with regards to the EC and the upcoming MOPAP registration exercise. He's entreating that it will be expanded to the rural areas. We'll look at that as well here on the show. Your comments and contributions very much welcome here, and you can send them to our WhatsApp line is active, and you can also send it to our social media platform, Facebook. We're streaming live, so you can drop your comments in real time. Anyway, we get to the front page of the newspapers, and I start off with a daily graphic, and it says, purge toxic political space after your marking urges media. And NHIA settles 300 million Ghana cedis claims. Page 20 has got a story on that. Government secures PAT to suspend bilateral loan payment until 2026. Recoded GBC mobile app, GBC Bank's digital transformation innovations also celebrated. You can also grab a copy of the Daily Graphic and read about it. On the back page, it says Ghana EU Commission road projects in the Upper West region, and modern biomedical waste incinerator installed for Noguchi. That's the Daily Graphic and the back page reporting on some stories. And away from that, the Daily Statement is here, and it says Minister calls for heightened awareness in border areas, and the NPP faithful urged to stop pressuring Bawumia over running mates, and the Ghana secures landmark agreement with creditor committee. Away from that, Asantehene praises Bawumia's humility, says power has not changed him. That's also captured on the front page of the Daily Statement. It includes some of the conversations that we'll be having this morning here on major issues. Now, Dreams FC striker closes in on top scorer award, and Osman Bukari ranked the third most impactful player in Serbian top flight, and also Alexander Jiku-Louts Otuado. That's also captured at the back page of the Daily Statement for today. Away from that, the Daily Guide is here, and it says that the big story, NDC kicks against a free SHS bill, and show business model, DPP dares number one. Otumfuo Lords Bawumia, you are respectful, humble, and the Gamanche leads Clean Accra campaign. That's also captured on the front page of the Daily Guide, and the Gamanche seems to be doing a lot, ever since he stepped into that position. Of course, the paramount will be the invitation by the Gamanche, which was extended to Otumfuo to visit over the weekend. It was all about the Gamanche and the Otumfuo. Good stuff. We would love to see things like that. Now, Speaker launches Democracy Cap today at the back page of Daily Guide. Ronaldo 39 playing Euro 2024, a gift, and Man U retains Ten Hag, and the day's exclusion coach's decision, Otuado says so. That's the Daily Guide today. Away from that, the Daybreak says political power has not changed you, says Otumfuo to Bawumia. Cocoa Board saves 300,000 hectares cocoa farms, and number one to either walk free or open defense on July 10. Hookup killed a Ghanaian Nigerian lady, and 1 million naira seems to be the price that was at stake. Now, Siani celebrates modern waste processing facility. That's daybreak this morning. Away from that, the anchor is here, and it says unfair dismissal, victimization hits BCM as another employee sacked for allegedly seeking scholarship assistance. Victims speak today. And the Central Region NDC spokesperson says it won't be intimidated ahead of December poll. And the CSOs threatened demo over locked up drugs at ports, but ministry insists only mosquito nets are in containers. And over 30 SHS students hospitalized after eating wache. Be careful what you eat. Be very, very careful what you eat out there. Now, the new finder says inflation drops to 23.1% in May, and IEA reiterates call for independent fiscal council. 5 SNET hotels cash-strapped, and Ghana Official Creditor Committee agreed debt relief terms. And they said that in terms of the SNET hotels, it says never paid dividends despite 233.8 million Ghana cedis investment. That's the new finder this morning. That's the newspapers for today on News Flash. You can grab a copy of them and then read all about those that we've spoken about. But I've got my guest in the studio. Once again, we say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone Papa Pafi, still for making it possible for us to have this conversation. Your comments and your contributions are very much welcome. Our WhatsApp line is active, and you can also do so on our Facebook, our streaming platforms as well. We'll be more than glad to read from you. Lawyer Kwame Jantua Esquire is here this morning, senior member of the CPP and chairman Oil and Gas at the AGI sector. Join us this morning, as always, here on a Thursday morning. Lawyer, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much, and thanks for making time for us this morning as well. And of course, the Honorable Alexander Percival Segbefia is here with us this morning, and also a lawyer and former Minister of Health joining us this morning. Sir, you good?
Good morning, KMG. I'm good, and good morning to my colleague.
Good morning.
And obviously to our cherished viewers and listeners.
Great. Good to have you on the show, and I like your outfit today as well.
Thank you.
When I'm older, I want to be dressing like this.
Well, don't worry. When I'm younger, I'll be better than you.
Oh, didn't see that coming. Anyway, that's the first one. Yeah, but we've got loads to talk about this morning. I'm thinking that we'll begin with the registration exercise that Mahama is urging the EC to expand the MOPAP exercise to remote areas. Now, that's supposed to be starting somewhere on the 1st to the 3rd of August. And we want to look at that issue. And then we'll move on to the other issue, which will be the visit of Dr. Baumia to the Otumfuo's Palace and some other conversation that ensued when he visited. But the EC is still up, and Dr. Mahama still believes that we can do a lot in those remote areas. Lawyer, let me start off with you. By the way, we'll also be joined by Mr. Charles Bisu, the MPP parliamentary candidate for Sikado Ketan. He'll be joining us this morning, and when he's able to join us, I'll introduce him as well.
Good morning to our viewers.
Great.
And your question is?
Mahama is still insisting that the EC expands the MOPAP registration exercise that will be coming off in August to some remote areas. He believes that they'll be disenfranchised if you're not able to get to those places, especially knowing that we're looking at district level. He thinks that we should move beyond the districts and, make sure that these people also get to vote for them. Is it the issue of those are the people who will likely make the difference because they are feeling the hardship more? Maybe Accra, you say, or Kumasi, or in the other places, you say, well, it's the urban areas. Monies will still come into the pocket regardless. But these areas suffer lighting issues. They don't have potable water and all of those things. So expanding it over there would probably make a difference for him.
Are you insinuating?
Exactly.
You're insinuating?
Maybe.
I thought so. That former President John Mahama feels that he can get extra votes from there.
Exactly. I feel so too.
I don't see that. I don't see that way. I don't see it that way because
they don't add anything.
You can never tell who the people in that area will vote for. The question I ask is that Electoral Commission, do they not have the means to do this registration throughout, especially in an election year?
There have been calls for them to even do it until.
Shouldn't that be the case?
It doesn't seem to be the case, or it doesn't even look like
it should be the case where people are being born every day. People are attaining a certain age to vote every day. Don't you think it should be a long thing? I would have expected President Mahama to indicate that we haven't been able to do this kind of mopping up effectively. If I am voted into power, one of the things I would look at, especially not to disenfranchise anybody, is that the Electoral Commission can register people continuously. With such a thing, the Electoral Commission then puts it into their program because they know they would have the budget for it. But the fact that it's in their program, they have the budget for it, they should also be supervised to make sure that they are doing it. And how do you supervise it? IPAC. Political parties. They meet with them. And they show them what they've done, where they've gotten to. So that everybody in this country, even if people are going to be disenfranchised, a small percentage. The people we talk about in those areas, are they not Ghanaians? Are they not entitled to vote? Whichever way they vote, that is neither here nor there on the issue. The issue is they are entitled to vote, and they should not be disenfranchised from that responsibility that is God-given. It is not a privilege to vote. It is a right to vote. You vote for someone you feel can handle the affairs of this country. And don't forget, politicians feel that once they are in power, they are the Magajia. No, the people are the Magajia. What the people want is what you say you will do. You bring out your manifesto, people look at your manifesto, and unfortunately in this country, we don't tend to stick to the manifestos we bring out. And so some of the things that we do fall out of context, and we don't even have the money to do some of the things that aren't in our manifesto. Look, I strongly believe that going forward, we need a plan for this country. We've got to a stage where all of us, politicians, public, should sit and say, this is the plan for this country for the next 20 years. This plan can be altered as we go along. And everybody needs to stick into this plan. We need a plan, if for nothing at all, where energy is concerned. We need a plan where agriculture is concerned. We need a plan where housing is concerned. We need a plan where health is concerned. The major tributaries to our economy, we need plans for it so that we can follow it and we can track it. Tell me, you're a Ghanaian citizen, aren't you? Can you tell me what we've been able to track and what we've been able to do in the last 8 years? Can you tell me?
No.
If we were to go out there, could we tell that this and this and this is what we've been able to do? No. So it's not just a question of gathering votes. It's a question of putting the right plan in place for people to be able to be part and parcel of that plan and for people not to be disenfranchised. So that when they are voting for a particular reason. They're voting on the performance of the government. What is Vice President Bawumia telling us? He's in the government and he's telling us something else. When his government right now has put the country in a very challenging situation. How possible? So, I think it's more than what
Mahama is looking
former president is
from,
looking at.
from that.
There's a much wider picture, it's a much bigger picture. And I hope the next president who comes in, be it Bawumia, be it Mahama, be it Shrematin, be it, what's his name, what do you call it first, be it the incoming, what do you call it, CPP, any of them who come in, some of the things that we need to do, we need to be able to sit around the table and say, this is the direction. Because at the present moment, we are listless. I don't think this country right now has a direction that is following. And I think that is challenging. The president comes to tell us, I put my presidency on the line where Galamsey is concerned. What is happening today? What is happening today? And we sit here, China comes to Ghana, takes our cocoa, go and grow it, and now they're competing with us. Doesn't make sense. How much did we spend in importing mangoes from Burkina Faso? Over 1.6 million cedis. Does it make sense?
It doesn't.
We spent $33.1 million importing onions. Does it make sense? Doesn't. And you tell me what? So those fundamentals that need to put this economy in place needs to be discussed as a country, not as a political party.
Very well. And I think this call for a nationalistic approach to things that we do in this country has been really, hitting politicians almost every second. But it looks like nobody's ready to take the bull by the horn and say, you know what, let's take this approach and make some reviews and ensure that we're able to effectively do so. And it's becoming a problem, by the way. Honorable.
KMG.
A lot to deal with in this country.
Let me start off by saying that I agree with my colleagues' submissions, but I want to narrow it down to this particular issue. One of the major tenets of a democracy is the right to vote. That is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Your right to vote. There's a Dr. Azar, I believe, who has always written that the cardinal sin of the Fourth Republic is sour, where a whole group of people, by the stroke of a pen, were disenfranchised from not voting in SAL. Unbelievable. You take it a step further and you look at our registration process. What President Mahama said is something we have reiterated from day one. We said it is not good enough for registration to take place at only the district centers. Putting aside even the issue of continuous registration, if you're going to go through a registration exercise that is going to last 3 weeks, do it at the polling stations and reduce the time from 3 weeks to 2 weeks. But do it at the polling station because it's walking distance for most of the people in that polling area.
Easy access to it.
So if you reduce the time to 2 weeks and everybody in the area gets to register, you do a better job. We then took it a step further and said, okay, we want to look at the financial situation of our country. So do it in electoral areas. Don't do it at districts. Because people just don't have the means or the ability to go and register. And it's also another way of potentially disenfranchising. How many people are going to go and check the exhibition list, only to find out on the day they go to their polling station, their name is not there. It's at a different place. And they don't know where that different place is. And so they will be disenfranchised if they are put in a different place from the first. So we as political parties now having to go through a process of ensuring that the exhibition is what it is. We do our own checks and balances to ensure that people are in the right places. Why do we have to go through this? If they had done it in electoral areas, or even better, at the polling stations, most people will be captured where they actually went and registered. It would have stopped all these fights we are having about people busing from A to B, and you don't have to bus anybody. You will just walk to your polling station or take a trek. You're at your polling station, good enough. But if you do it at districts, you are going to disenfranchise a lot of people, and in the north especially, everybody has got it, but in the north especially, some of the distances are huge. You can travel 20, 30, 40, 50 kilometers to a district office. And how is a young person who has just turned 18 going to find the money to do that when he's unemployed? But he still has the right to vote as a Ghanaian. So the call by President Mahama is spot on. You now have a limited window of another further registration. Let us find some money and do it at the very least at electoral areas. But not for those areas where they are remote. So they have the map. If you want to stick to the type of situation we saw in Accra, where even they'll put 2 or 3 polling stations together, there were 5 constituencies in the electoral, or 4 or 5 constituencies in the electoral commission building. somewhere put together 2 trips. So people had to bus to come from ABC, but it's Accra. So even if you have to take some trotro or whatever, it
won't be that expensive.
But in the remote areas, it's not the same. So I'm even taking it, they should increase it to electoral areas in the rural areas, if not even polling stations, to ensure that they can mop up all the people who have been disenfranchised by a system we as Ghanaians put in place. And it's not good enough to say we don't have the money, even though the money, we have money for a lot of things. Oh. The cathedral hall is the cathedral is still there. Oh. We have money for it. So
the EC has it.
They should government.
That one is costing financial loss to the state.
Well, the money has been spent. So somebody has the money.
There's plan to actually continue.
Well, we will go to that another time. So I'm clear in my mind that the call is an accurate one, a good one, and we plead with the EC to heed our call. This is not about the urban areas. This is about the rural areas and the distances. So, you know, in this exercise, they created what they call mobile units. So even though this is the center, they'll go and spend 2 days here, they're going to
remove.
Yeah, but it didn't capture enough. And it didn't go to certain areas. And we are pleading that look at it again, do a proper demography of what is happening, and actually open polling stations in some areas, especially those who are overseas, etc. Some, you have to take canoe or boats to get from one place to the mainland to actually come and vote. They are aware, because they are going to put voting centers in over 40,000 police. So it's not that they are not aware. They know the places. And they should just help us to make sure that nobody or no further people are disenfranchised by the actions of the Electoral Commission. As I started, SAL was a direct action of the EC by saying that the people of SAL are not allowed to vote in a parliamentary election. Unheard of. And we pray that it never happens again. But this is another aspect. And you see, from a political standpoint of view, it will help the EC if they did it, because the general view of a lot of Ghanaians is that the youth are very much against the current government. And therefore, there's a feeling that they do not want many people to vote. Because the more the youth vote, the worse it is for government. That is how I'm giving you the perception on the ground. The perception on the ground. So it's not like they are rushing to get people registered. They are indirectly stopping people from registering. That's the view. So the EC should purge itself of this perception.
But is that what they see?
Well, I'm telling you, if they don't see it, we are telling them.
And what the EC sees by.
Let me put it this way. The forecast of the number of people they said were going to vote and what the people who actually vote, as in always these cases, the EC got the figures wrong. More people have registered than they had expected to register. Which means that the projections of the political parties, if we had done it the proper way, would even be more than what. So there are still people out there who haven't registered. That's all we are saying. The statistics are clear. You projected a number of people who are going to vote. It's been exceeded. Where did these people come from? We told them that and this is not the first time we've told them that your projections are wrong. It's not the first time. And truly, the projections have not been met. So there's a good maybe 200, 300,000 people still sitting out there who possibly need to be registered. And I said, it's guesswork. My figure may be totally wrong. I stand to be corrected. But the numbers are huge. So go to the rural areas, give people a further better opportunity. And it's not we are not chastising the EC on this one. We are saying it's an opportunity. Seize the opportunity and don't disenfranchise or don't create a position where indirectly people would. And we don't know whether they are going to vote MPP, and that's not the former president's issue. The former president's issue is that do not create a situation where people are disenfranchised. That's all.
Maybe the calling may come across to so many other people as though, like I said from the beginning, that maybe it's because of the votes that he thinks that he will get from those places, because looking at those places, they are hard-pressed in terms of what the economy and how things are going. And so a lot of people would want to see it as a political plea, if you like.
But KMJ, The plea was made before the exercise.
Because the EC is aware of. Look at the days they are using to do this mop up. It's 3 days.
Yeah.
From the 1st to the 3rd.
Yeah.
Is the EC not aware of all these things we've raised?
So they should open more centers. That's all we are saying in the rural areas.
So
It's 3 days.
They shouldn't even wait for the former president to come and speak about this. Talking about it now makes it look like, but we know there are people in certain places
we are leaving no stone.
Get votes from. And so please do well to make sure those people also get to vote for us.
No stone. We are telling people in advance. We are not going to wait for it to happen and then come and cry after you have lost the battle. It's an issue. It's something we said before this exercise was started.
Yeah.
Now we have empirical evidence based on your projections and the number of people that people are still waiting to be registered. Help us to help you, because you have created the cardinal seal of SAL. So you are under the microscope. We didn't do it. A stroke of a pen, a whole area, and it's still in court. Please, let us be clear. The EC has created its own problems. Nobody created it for them. It's a question of trust and belief. And all we are saying is that your projections show that you have registered all the people that need to be registered, and yet your figures show that more people have registered, which shows clearly. And our projections have not yet been met. The number we thought we were going to register has not yet been met.
So there's more people.
So there's more people to be registered. And it's not the first time. The last registration exercise, their projection was wrong as well. So we are clear that whatever projections they do, they don't get it right. And there are people out there to be registered. So it's a plea, whether they listen to it or not. We are letting people know that, and we believe that it is the rural areas where the issues are, because it's more difficult to do busing and moving people around in those areas. And as I said, district offices are some distance away from the centers where people are coming from. And that is just not acceptable. They should just do at what's it called? West electoral level. At best, polling stations. Just go to those areas and put them there so that they even know where they are voting. Matter close. But we will see what the EC does with it.
I think that we should also be looking at those who are very lackadaisical in terms of going out there to register. I mean, we've had the EC call out people several times, and people don't go. Some even come last minute, and then there's a rush.
Have we made the call for the urban areas? That argument holds in an urban area where somebody woke up in the morning, hey, I have to register. What's happening? I haven't gone. He has sat down for 3 weeks and done nothing. Urban area, you go and queue quickly for the last 3 days.
Yeah.
Understood. Having made the call is not for that. The person in the rural area is a financial thing, majority of the times. Because he cannot find money to take that 20 kilometers, go and wait and not even tell him that there's no you
would have to go back and come back
internet
again.
connection.
Yeah. There were issues like that too.
Yes. You understand? So the call is not for urban areas. That's not what the president is saying. The call is for people he believes have been disenfranchised due to distance and economic considerations. That's all it is. So if you don't want to do it in an urban area, you manage it. It's not the best. But
there is something that we can at least...
We can stomach it. Even though we still think that it's not the best. Because all this busing of people for transfer and whatever, it created so much chaos. But if you leave people where they were supposed to be, they would, I'd say, a polling station or an electoral area, we won't have the kind of complaints we have now. So we are saying, this is a financial issue. This is a distance issue. Bring the registration closer to the people so that at least it is not seen as a deliberate attempt to disenfranchise them.
Very well.
MJ, why do you ask politicians that question?
Which one?
What you're just asking us.
In terms of people going out there
in terms of what's happening and why are they not going over to the rural areas to do what they have to do? Look, yes, multimedia does well with regards to
moving to spaces.
Moving to these places.
Yeah.
But I believe it's the responsibility of the media to go to the Electoral Commission and ask them. Put them on their toes. But before you even do that, go to those rural areas and get the data and bring it. That is the only time they will sit on their feet. They will stand up because they will realize that you have the kind of information that they know that they don't want to give out. I think the media has a huge role to play. Come election time, a lot of information that the Electoral Commission knows and they use it to their advantage, not to the advantage of the people, should be exposed by the media. Because really, you would not understand why the Electoral Commission would not want to register every Tom, Dick, and Kweko in this country. It is their responsibility to do. The Constitution mandates them to do that. And so the program you put in place should be long enough to capture everybody. The sad thing is that you now have a track record in the Electoral Commission. SAL is your track record.
Yeah.
SAL is your track record, where you disenfranchised a huge number of people. And so I believe that the media has a lot to
especially with this elections.
Especially with this election, and to put the Electoral Commission on its toes to do the right thing. I always say the Electoral Commission should be that particular body that brings Ghanaians together. I believe that. I believe
it's not achieved that yet.
I don't see it. Unfortunately, I don't see it. I don't see the Electoral Commissioner being that kind of person who brings people together. Because what are you there for? You are there for Ghanaians. It's Ghanaians who vote. Yours is to make sure that you monitor the voting and that what you monitor is what Ghanaians have voted for. Period. But the question of trust is also a problem. The question of trust of the EC is a problem. Look, when Afarijan came in, we had that question of trust, but he was able, being there for quite some time, he was able to balance that trust and where people now believed what Afarijan did. This Electoral Commissioner today, can we say there's 100% trust by the people? Can we say there's 100% confidence by the people? Can we really say that? And that is where the challenge is. And I keep saying the Electoral Commission needs to build that trust with the people. Forget the politicians. It's the people you need to build trust with. Because if you don't build trust with the people, where it can end us, nobody would want to talk about it.
Very well. That's Lawyer Janto over there. And if you just joined us, this is Newsflash here on Prime One, and it's proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone Papa Fee. And you might want to just go for that CCTV camera this morning, and also buy your refrigerators from us. Our television screens, we've got the biggest you can buy, and so do well and grab some for yourself as well. And if you're looking for an iPhone, Samsung or Nokia, is the place that you need to go get it. Don't forget that we are on social media. When you go on our website, you can get all the details you want to get. It's www.francotrading.com, and download the Franco app. It's a Franco Trading app on Google Play Store, and you're good to go. Give us a call. Please do call these numbers that you can see on your screens, 0555-939311, and speak to us. Don't pick any number from social media and call us on to do business. Those are scammers, so be careful. Very soon, I'll be reading some of your comments that you've sent to us, but let me introduce my other guests that have joined us this morning. Mr. Charles Bisu has joined us. He's the MPP parliamentary candidate for Esikano Ketan. How is the constituency doing, sir?
It's doing well. We're actually working to come December 7th, I think
we're positive of that.
People will do us good.
The NDC are not coming anywhere close?
No, but I just don't want to be complacent. I'm just going to work as it is. I mean, we have rules and regulations governing these elections, how we campaign and all that, but I believe that Ghanaians are discerning now, and so it's not the politics of old where you go and then lie to people. You must be consistent with them, which I think I am doing. So I believe come December 7th. And then the other thing is that Esikano Ketan has always been an MPP seat. I think it was voter apathy in the 2020 election.
Yeah.
So I've come in. Like I said, I'm not going to be complacent. Being an indigene, I think I have to work, visit people and explain what I intend to, the duties that will be bestowed on me, how I intend to carry them out. And I believe they would listen to me.
Very well. Let me get some messages and then I'll come back for us to continue with the next topic, which will be the visit of Dr. Bawumia to Otumfuo's palace. Now, this one is from Honorable Akisime Seshubekwa, and it says, "Good morning, KMJ. I stand in solidarity with John Mahama's call to extend voter registration to remote areas. Ensuring equal access to voting rights for all citizens, regardless of location, is crucial for a fair and representative democracy. Thank you, John Mahama, for championing this important cause. Voting rights for all, democracy for all. Regards to CEO of A&A Drinking Water, Master GE, inside Seshi Bekwai." Let me go to Tamale. Akonsi Gariba in Tamale says, who in Ghana doesn't know the humility of Alhaji Dr. Bawumia? Otumfuo is right for saying that Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is humble and respectful despite his standing in the society. Ghanaians are far better to live under the presidency of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia than the rest. The era of President Mahama is over. The era of fees paying SHS is over. The era of the 3-month salaries arrears are over. And lastly, the era of doom so is over. BMW is possible on the 7th of December, 2024. Let me go to this one over here, and it says, "Good morning to you. Please, we are begging the MPP man sitting there to tell Bawumia to kindly settle NAPCO trainees arrears before the Salah comes 17th of June 2024. The deception to NAPCO is too much and embarrassing." Good morning, KMJ on your panel. Sikado Ketan constituency is looking forward to vote for the one who has his fingerprint all over the constituency, God-fearing with motherly care, and that person is Professor Grace Ayensu Dankwa. Even our MP, Honorable Jogati, knows she is the one to succeed him. As for Honorable Charles Bisu, dear big no, and he knows. Good morning, Dr. Grace Ayensu Dankwa and people of Sikado Ketan constituency from Albert in Kujokru, Sikado Ketan constituency. I'm sure Mr. Bisu will be responding to this. This message, this guy actually sends a lot of message on this show. You do remember. Alasa Sister from Zeno Central says, "Good morning to everyone. I wonder why some people say they are undecided going into this year elections, whilst the indicators are clear in everyone's pocket and in their individual economy, in their everyone's home. Why should I struggle to decide between a gallon of fuel at 14 cedis and a liter of same commodity 14 cedis? Why should I struggle to decide between 25 kg of rice at 120 cedis and the same rice is now 500 cedis, cement 28 cedis 2016 and now 100 cedis and counting. I can go on and on. MPP, never again." Let me go to this one over here. Starts off with some NDC thing, and it says, KMJ, it says, NDC should tell us what their message is and leave EC alone to do its work. Unnecessary commentaries around EC's work won't win votes. It is clear NDC has lost focus, and the only thing they can do now to remain relevant till December is to create unnecessary headlines. Please tell Honorable Alex to also explain to us his version of their so-called 24-hour economy. Matuka Fakop from Bimbagu sent in that one. Let me go to the next one. If you know, you know. Alhaji Hamza Big Fam says, "Good morning, my brother. We have been told by the majority leader that very soon a free SHS bill will be placed before Parliament to pass to serve as a bidding to successive governments to come. This is just much I do about nothing. The free SHS at its current form is going through a lot of problems, and I expect government to work towards in solving those problems. In any case, where policy document guided the free SHS, there is none. The NPP is only trying hard to play politics with the free SHS through Parliament. Our children go to school for 1 month and come back to the house and spend 3 months. My brother, nobody has a problem with free SHS, but the implementation is the problem. Our JHS schools have been neglected totally to the ground because of free SHS. Who does that? They should stop playing gambling with the future of our children. Trust me, the future of this country and this government is pregnant and hopeless. Now, the minority is also against that. The papers reported that this morning. We'll see in the coming days what exactly we'll make of this. Mensa Majid from Bechem, Toronto says, "My regards to Honorable Charles Akwasi Asiedu, incoming Okwalik MP for Tano South constituency and FOCA members. NDC is not against free SHS, but we are not happy with how it was implemented. We will change the double track system into a single track. IMF even advised them to review free SHS. MPP communicators are always good in misinterpretations. Review doesn't mean fee paying or cancellation. We will make sure students spend more time in school than in in the house and also provide them with the needed teaching and learning materials. The next NDC government will abolish needless taxes like e-levy, COVID levy, tax on sanitary pad, sanitation levy, betting tax, and many more. Otumfuo has done well for advising Dr. Bawumia, but he won't listen. Even his driver, President Anado, didn't listen to Otumfuo. Let's vote massively against NPP, and they have nothing for us. Maybe I'll do the last one, and we'll move on to our conversation. This one over here says the easiest decision to make is voting against and out Bawumia. Free expensive SHS, one village dry dams, one district empty warehouse, one district no $1 million, one public sector, one corruption. The list is endless. Patrick in Accra sent in that one. There are more that I'll be looking at a bit later here on the show. But